Man, welcome to DES iRacing. Here we are. We are at Rockingham, 140 laps. Man, I am here with Ben Kuhn. Ben, how are you? All right, now that I got that fixed, Ben, how are you?
I'm doing good, Dan. How are you?
Man, there you are. I'm good, man.
Yep, 140 laps tonight here at Rockingham with the ARCA cars. I feel like it's going to make a very interesting race tonight, especially with how the tire wear on these cars are.
You know, as well, right now, we have quite the little points battle going on here. If you take a look there, we got Brandon Hinton and Max Dinda, which are just not many points away from each other in the points battle. Brandon Hinton right there is on our pole. But you can see there, Todd Perront's right up there fighting, and Tanner Honeycutt's not far behind.
Yeah, I do agree, especially with, Todd Perront and Brandon Hinton. Like, both those guys are really fast guys. And Max Dinda, I do believe, is like 1 point ahead of Brandon Hinton.
All right, you good with names?
I'll try my best.
Go ahead, read the lineup for us.
So we got Brandon Hinton starting in first position, Todd Perront and down in second position. And we got Max Dinda, I believe that's how you pronounce it, in third position. Tanner Honeycutt in the fourth position. These two guys are probably going to really battle it out there tonight. Charles Connor in fifth. Matthew Tennant in the sixth position. Sean Dion down in seventh. And
Now we have a few people that didn't qualify. So we have Sean Dion, we got Tyler Waltz, we have Jeff Dinda, who's not actually racing, but he's going to come join us here shortly. Chris Burley, Donald Colcott, Williams, Christian Clark is out there racing.
And Thomas Long down in 14th.
All right, here we are, about to start this thing.
Last race of the ARCA Playoffs Championships, baby.
Well, Christian, let me ask you something. How do you feel being back there in the 13th right now?
I didn't qualify. I'm not a playoff contender. I'm not a championship battler tonight. So I'm feeling pretty good. Decided to start here in the back so that way I can still enjoy the race and not really hinder anybody that's battling for position. We got two guys, the 5 of Brandon Hinton and the 48 Max Dinda. Those two guys are the two closest that we need to keep an eye on tonight for a championship.
Yes, sir. It's a pace car goes off. You're back to go green flag here shortly, and green flag is out. Brandon Hinton down on the bottom, Todd Perront to the outside, and they touch it. Brandon Hinton goes around. Yellow flag.
Oh, that is not good. Both of those drivers I just named, the 48 of Max Dinda and the 5 of Brandon Hinton was, sorry, it's telling me to get behind Chuck Burley. Anyways, Brandon Hinton were tied up in that, got a bunch of damage. It looked like a pretty hard hit. Good thing that we get a faster pair here.
So as soon as that contact happened, Brandon Hinton hits right in front of the 48, and it smacks the wall right in the front end. As you see here, you have to make contact, and Brandon Hinton just hits from the front of Max Dinda.
Pit lane's now open. I don't know if we're going to see those guys go down or not.
If I'm the 5, who seems to have pretty messed up front end damage, I would guarantee he would want to go in. But it does seem like both the 48 and the 5 are heading into pit lane.
Also got the 59 and Matt Tennant. He's going down pit lane here.
Now, so far, with that fast repair being burned up, you know that Brandon Hinton might want to be a little bit extra cautious going into the rest of this race. Same thing, probably with the 48.
You know, they got such a high racing IQ. These guys know how it goes. They know what to expect. It's short track. There's going to be a lot of aggression out here. It's championship race. They have to get everything that they can get, but it's 140 laps. So I expect to see Brandon Hinton. He's probably going to come out, make a couple passes here in the back, get around mid-pack, and just kind of cruise for a little bit and let those laps tick down.
Jeff is here whenever you want me to jump in there, sir, producer.
What's going on, Jeff? Welcome. What
Yeah,
do you think
Max,
of the race so far?
yeah. I mean, we talked about the point standings. I heard you guys at the beginning of the race. I mean, they're all pretty tight, but with this track, you never know what's going to happen. So even Todd in third, some of these guys, they're not out of it yet. And I kind of watched Max there. He did not take his fast repair. He made some whatever repairs he could get, and he's trying to catch up with the field. But I think he's asking Brandon. Brandon did take his fast repair. Max did not. So let's see how that plays out.
But you also got to wonder, I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but Max does not have his front bumper on his car.
He's missing the entire thing. And I watched his repairs. I could see his radiator getting fixed, but there was definitely some damage on his radiator. So, who knows what he got out of that 25, 30 seconds of repair time with the pace car coming off. It looks like ready to go green.
And Top Rocket with a strong start here. Tanner Honeycutt to the outside, Charles Connor to his inside. Down. Exit into turn 2, still side by side, clean. Everyone's clean coming out of turn 2.
Yeah, and that's exactly the kind of start that I think Todd wanted to see there. Unfortunate for the other drivers, but he seemed to avoid most of the contact, so good for him.
Yes, and I do agree with that. And the main thing was that it never affected Todd Perront's race, especially because he only got doored in. Lucky enough, he never got loose.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can hear Christian on the track mic letting Max know his front bumper is completely missing. We all saw that on the feed there. Todd Perront still doing a pretty good job staying out in front there. Noticing Max is back in 11th, and it looks like Brandon may be doing like what Christian said. He's maybe just be sticking in the back now, playing a little safe. I think all of these guys up front got a little excited with that trophy in their forecast, but we'll see how they can recover.
Yeah, and right now Max is just holding the bottom, just trying to hold his own. And I think with that weight that damages, I think it's just going to probably cause maybe some overheating issues later in this run.
Yeah, absolutely. And I kind of get sticking in there, trying to get some repairs, see how it handles. If there's another incident he's involved in and he still has a fast repair, it could benefit him later. But if that damage is too much and he's just falling off the pace, Brandon will certainly take advantage of that.
Yes, sir. As we see Charles Connor now in the lead, and with Tanner Honeycutt passing Top Ron on the inside now. Still
yeah, it was kind of running through the field there. I kind of missed what happened with Todd. I mean, I know this is a pretty short track, and these guys can make some moves pretty quick here. If you get loose for a second, you can lose a couple positions pretty quick.
So right now, let's see what Todd's strategy is throughout the rest of his race, because he started there on the front row and a 59 getting loose.
Yeah, he tagged the back of Todd there. Looked like. Didn't see if they wrecked behind him. Caution is out.
But that's a 59 was able to keep that car straight.
Yeah, I did hear one of the guys in the back of the pack calling out wrecking, but I'm sure it was more than what we saw there on the feed. Here we go with the replay. We're going to take a quick commercial break.
Hey, Mike, I know you think your truck is totally sick, but this is what I think of your precious 4x4 hang out all day with your stupid friend's truck! Push it!
We are back at the Rock, and with that caution, a couple of guys came in to get some repairs. Still watching the 5 car came in, but didn't look like he got tires or anything. 48 car has still not used his fast repair, and so he's trying to get whatever he can, but still missing his front nose, and we're getting ready to go green.
And green flag runs out, and Charles Connor with a good run already. He's already taken the man on the inside. Todd Perron running right behind him, as well as the Tanner Honeycutt on the outside.
Yeah, great jump there by Charles. Looks like is that Sean Dion maybe trying to move on the Todd Perron 69 car. And there's Max trying to find his way up front with no nose.
Yeah. I still got to wonder, though, how much damage did that radiator take, though, and the fact that he still does not have a front bumper says a lot.
Yeah, I guess if it's not leaking, it might run a little cooler. But like you said, with that frame, I mean, you just never know where the handling's at. But you only get one fast repair here, so I think he's holding on to that for dear life.
So right now, Sean Dion underneath the 99 of Christian Clark as we go down back straight, heading into turn 3.
Yeah, and I just got loose, and that could have been really bad for the 3 car if I didn't save that.
Well, speaking of Max, and he's already going right beside you, Christian. And it's still insane that he didn't decide to use that fast repair, especially with that front end, to may affect some of the aerodynamics. But as you see, you got a little bit loose coming out of fourth.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, it's a short track, so we don't have quite the same aero performance that you would have on a faster track, but still that's going to affect them. And you just see on our feed there, Brandon's still kind of hanging out in back, which is probably not a bad strategy. You know, use his fast repair. Wait till things settle down a little bit before you know kind of make that march to the front. We got quite a few laps remaining.
Yes, sir. It's almost 3 wide with the 23, 48, and 99.
Boy, that's just a kind of a funny look there without a bumper.
And right now, a story not being told is that 67 and 13 are kind of pulling away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, absolutely. Good call there. I mean, they got a 2-second gap, it looks like, to Todd. So, I mean, these actually maybe about 2.1 seconds. So they're doing a pretty good job of getting out there and setting that pace. Oh, great. Yeah, so we're going to have the little view there of the gap. You can see the little map popped up on the right-hand side of the screen. That's kind of a similar thing that I'm running on my system just to kind of know where everybody is. And, boy, they are pulling out. And sometimes it's great to be out front.
Yeah, and another thing is, though, wondering about this now, it's like, are they burning up their tires by doing this? I mean, Todd Braun may be saving his tires for a longer run in this race.
Yeah, Todd always does a really good job of knowing where to draw the line and save it. Ooh, Max just bounces off the wall there pretty hard. Still a little loose. He's really good at saving his stuff, knowing when not to push it. You know, but you know, nothing wrong with you know, Charles kind of breaking out in the lead there with that clean air.
Another person made benefit is 13 car right behind him, just able to follow right behind him.
Yeah, what do you think? I mean, do we get? There's still got to be a little bit of draft no matter what track you're at. I mean, I know it's not a fast track, but there's got to be some advantage to that.
I feel like it depends, though, simply because of how this track is. Don't want too much of that dirty air on your nose, because that could wash you up into the wall, like especially on the exits, because you can see with watching on Tanner and Charles Connor, like off the exit, Tanner was trying to keep his nose underneath the 6-7 off the exit too, just so that way if he got close enough, you won't be able to smack up into the wall. It may not be as big here, but he could still probably pay a dividend, especially when you're trying to wash somebody up into the wall, as you see right there again, Tanner going underneath the 67.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point. I mean, I do watch a lot of videos trying to learn how to drive, and you know, a lot of these tracks, the guys, you know, if you're right behind somebody, keep your front left out, and he makes that pass there. It looks like, you know, keep your front left, you know, kind of below, just to keep a little, you know, a little bit of air on it, independent. But boy, yeah, these two are really battling it out, and you know, he's excuse me, I keep switching my feeds here. Todd's fallen back just a couple of positions, so he may be doing a little extra saving.
Maybe, and one person who is catching up rapidly is that number 3 car, Sean Dion, and we got Christian up there in 4th, and Todd Perrant right behind Christian. Don't know if he has any damage or something to the right front, cause wheel damage or something, but yet again, never know.
Yeah, I feel like the 69, I just made a pass on him there. He didn't fight me at all. I think he's just trying to conserve what he has. He's just racing really smart, not trying to push anything. We're lap 29, got 112 left.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, that Chuck made a pass on the inside on him as well. And the 23 of Thomas Long is also looking to make a pass.
Yeah, Todd's the kind of driver to where he's smart enough to to conserve what he has, and that's why we can see him go 80 laps on a set of tires, something that, you know, a lot of people wouldn't even think of, and he just does it week in and week out.
Yeah, he's kind of learned to make it second nature for him. Watching a little in-car from the 3-car Sean Dion, I love these angles. You know, on top of the, you know, kind of turn it up, crank it up. This is one of my favorite views to watch during a race.
I agree. What crank it ups are probably one of my favorite parts of watching any Florida broadcasts from NASCAR. It's just part of the childhood from watching crank it up. One of the best parts of the broadcast, I do believe.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Now, one thing I just noticed on my time screen, Matthew Tennant is a lap down. Don't know what exactly has happened to him.
I think he was involved in that first incident and got some damage, and elected to stay into the pits and get it repaired the old-fashioned way, try to save that. He knows that it's a long race. There's a lot of laps, and there's going to be more cautions, and as long as he stays the first car a lap down, he'll get a lucky dog.
And so now, if you could draw to our attention, the major points battle is between Max Dinda and the 5 of Brandon Hinton.
Yeah, and Max, he's one position ahead, but he's not making any ground on the points. And, you know, the only other guy who could take advantage of that probably is Todd tonight, unless we had some, you know, catastrophic results. But, you know, Todd's also in P6, so those guys are all, you know, pretty close. Not that we're going to have that great of a spread with 11 cars in the race, but, you know, they're all pretty tight back there.
Yeah, and one thing I will say is this, that I don't know if Brandon Hinton did take his fast repair, but one thing that's sure about this, though, is that all he has to do is just wait for Max to make one major mistake, and he's in the clear. Now, I don't know if that will happen, but I think the last couple of times as he just makes contact with the wall right there coming out of exit of 2. But like I said, never know.
Yeah, and we're showing our point standings on screen, and what do we have there? Nine points separating them, with Todd another 7 points behind Max. So, you know, without stage breaks, it's hard to accumulate extra points in a race like this. But still to be seen how they finish it out.
Absolutely. And right now, I wonder if Brandon Hinton is just trying to figure out a way to get around Max and later in this run, or will he undercut him, or just wait for Max to go in the pits first?
Yeah, I mean, tough to say. I mean, you know, I think Brandon's in the best position, right? I mean, even though he's used this fast repair, you know, right now Max would have to be in first and Brandon be in last, I think, to make Brandon nervous. So, you know, I think if Brandon can keep his eyes on him, he's not real nervous of you know, the points at this point. You know, you mentioned Matthew Tennant falling a lap down, and you know, Christian came on and said he had some damage. Still, I mean, you know, the first car lap down, no real issue there. You can get that back pretty quick.
Yep.
Top 2 still with a pretty good gap on 3 to 5 there. 3 and 5 are in a pretty tight pack, but you know, 3, 4, 5, they're all on top of each other.
Yes, and a matter of fact, that's like it was. I do believe like only a couple seconds, and
the 3
the
just hit the
3
wall.
car.
Yeah. He just came down on the inside and scraped the wall. Now he's spinning in the grass.
And just collecting, just staying down in the grass, be out of everyone's way, and he was rapidly catching the 13 and the 67. And just wonder what happened to him. I guess burn off his tires way too early.
Yeah, it looks like we have a little replay here. Just got a little loose entering. Yeah, he just got a little loose, and then I think he probably picked up some garbage on his tires when he got back up to try and get back up to speed and spun in the grass.
Yeah, I noticed the turn right before all that happened. I came out of the turn and had, for some reason, a huge run on him. I don't think I was carrying that much momentum. I think something might have happened because right before that he was way off pace.
And you gotta wonder. And right now, Tanner Honeycutt and Charles Connor, like almost bumper to bumper at this point.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, a lot of laps in this race. You know, we've got 5 sets of tires total, 4 changes during the race. You know, they will definitely burn their tires up, but you know, maybe they both are just in a real comfortable pace and no stress. And as I think we were talking about Matthew Tennant being 1 lap down just before Sean kind of came down on the inside. Now he's the first car lap down, so Sean would take advantage of the lucky dog if a caution came out at this point.
And especially right now, this does seem like that Tanner and Charles Connor are catching up to the 5 and the 48.
Absolutely. I noticed we just had another visitor into our broadcast booth, so I'm hoping he can jump on and give us a couple of minutes of insight because he's probably my favorite announcer. Sorry, Ben, at this point. This other gentleman is happens to be my favorite.
It's all good. Right now, Max and Brady Henry gave way to the 13 and the 67. Right now, Tanner with a good momentum coming out of turn 4, and Charles Connor still to the inside of Max Dinda.
Yeah, he's just well, he's turning some. Tanner and Charles both are turning some fast lap times. So, um, you know, they may mix up that whole lucky dog strategy for some of these guys if that's what they were counting on.
And right now, if I the 5 or Brady Henry, I would definitely want to get past Max Dinda because, like I said, that lucky dog situation would be huge, especially if we're a caution to come out.
Yeah, absolutely, and I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe Brandon push a little bit here and make that happen.
So far, it just seems like he just wants to hang back and relax. He doesn't want to really push right now.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, lap 50, 140, still quite a few laps to go. So, um, you know, I mean, to be completely honest, I think as long as he can see the back bumper of the 48 in front of him, um, he's got no issues. The race is important, but you know, winning that trophy is, I think, what he has on mind.
Absolutely, especially since it's a points race.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, Thomas Long is currently the last car on the lead lap. Yeah.
And that seemed like that the two of Tanner Honeycutt and Charles Connor are catching Thomas Long, and Thomas Long just seems to be really off the pace right now as Charles Connor made that move down to the inside.
Hey, Damon, I got a request. Can we do a quick crank it up for a few seconds? Let's go with Charles. He's ripping it out front, so let's give him it to crank it up and mute for a second. Sorry there, we caught a caution on our little in crank it up segment. I wasn't sure who got caught up in that. I noticed Jacob's going a little slow. He's kind of drifted back there a little bit. The 14 car, I'm not sure if he was involved or if it was someone else. Here we go with a replay. Ooh. Looks like Max might have turned up into the 99 car.
Yeah. Right now, all the bumps. Yeah. Just got real tight off the exit and got right into the 99 car.
Yeah, and that I think that'll give the advantage to Brandon. He was not involved in that incident, so Brandon will probably get the lucky dog if he hasn't already. Yeah, as you mentioned that, I was watching that second replay. They first set of bumps, he cut that second set of bumps and definitely got up into the 99.
And that will be hugely beneficial for the 5 of Brandon Hinton. And simply because of due to how the points are.
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
while we're on caution, I think this will be the time that I come in and give my little 5 minutes of conversation, guys.
We can hear you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the booth, the one and only Edwin Warren.
Hello, hello, hello. I think this is a pretty good Rockingham race so far. I personally cannot stand this track, but some of these guys really know how to get around it. I got to say, Charles Connor is doing an amazing job. Sucks for what happened with Brandon Hinton and Todd Perron at the beginning, but I can see this already shaping up to be an exciting one throughout the longevity of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I'm just going to give you the full-time allotment you want. Go for it. I'm going to get a soda.
Well, from what I'm seeing is it looks like these ARCA cars, we know how the ARCA cars are. They're very tight in the way that they handle. So I'm seeing a lot of guys starting to push up a lot throughout the corners and things like that. But it's all about maximizing the temperature of your tires. I think Max is probably hurting his situation by going so long with this damage because he was moving forward for a second and then started dropping back. The damage was just killing him. But I definitely say keep an eye on that 67. He's got a good long run car as they're coming to the green flag right now.
And so with that, see how well the start could go for Charles Connor because he had a great launch off the start.
Yeah, look at him. He put some space there, and he's going to run that bottom line right now. Tanner Honeycutt's going to get right in there with him, with Chuck Burley following behind. But another guy I also want to highlight is that 3-car Sean Dion. Yeah, he hit the wall and he's moved backwards, but he was showing some real pace. I could see him getting back up there towards the front. Christian Clark also doing absolutely amazing. These guys are on a whole nother one right now, so I'm
Does he
excited.
get a 14 and he gets in the wall?
Oh,
Another caution goes out, and this is beneficial for the 59 of Matthew Tennant as long as if he did not go into it in the 14 car.
well, I'm gonna head on out of this booth, guys. You guys doing an absolute amazing job. I'm loving every second of it. Ben, you should join the booth a little more often.
Absolutely. I'll second that, Edwin.
All right, I'll see you guys later, man. Have a wonderful
See
race.
you, buddy.
See ya.
Yeah, if you want to take a little bit of replay of that, it just looked like the 14 car of Jacob Williams got real loose going into turns 1 and 2. And I guess just hit a bump because he got loose and overcorrected and just hit the front of the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, before Edwin, or when he was jumping in, he's one of my favorite broadcasters. Always exciting, always adds a good technical touch to the broadcast. But I'll second his comment he made. This is actually, I hate this track, and I think it's just a little, the first track I ever subbed in for Max, this was it. Came in cold, didn't know what I was doing, had cats jumping in front of my monitor. So yeah, there's a lot of bad memories for me with this track, and some of these guys may have some bad memories tonight, but we're still not out of the woods yet. We got a lot of racing to go.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree. I mean, these guys so far just trying to figure out where to go. And like Rockingham's a tough track, and especially in the ARCA car. And I remember doing earlier in the year in the Xfinity, and boy, was that a bumpy track and a bumpy ride throughout that whole race.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just was watching pit lane there a little bit. Brandon continues to come in, and I don't notice his car always getting lifted. So I'm not sure if he's topping off, or maybe if he had a little more repairs. I didn't see him hit the wall. Maybe he's got a few seconds repairs he's picking up, every couple times. Max is still sitting in the pits. It almost looks like his toe's out on his front left tire, but maybe that's just the way it looks here.
Yeah, and I wonder if he just got a little bit of damage on that not right front, left front, because that's where he hit Max in it on.
Yeah, it's hard to say, and can't quite pick up the number. Is that Brandon coming back in again, or is that no? That's live. Um, just switching my feed. Yeah, just switching my feed again. I mean, obviously, you know, you could top off and get an extra lap of fuel. Not really sure that's going to do much for you at this point. I mean, these cars will run a long time on a tank of gas, but again, if he had a couple of seconds repairs, he just need to get a few more. Nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah,
And he's
honestly and really and truly, just got to think about it like this. He may just trying to stay as long as he can, conserve that fast repair. As we're back and go green this time by.
pace cars in. I'll let you have the call.
Yes, sir. And Charles Carter with another great jump, as always, down to the inside. And Tanner Honeycutt, I don't know why he can't get a good launch on that high side, but it just seems like he really can't get any momentum on that high line.
Yeah, absolutely. And Todd's back up into fourth. Not surprised with that. Chuck Gurley's running in P3. But yeah, just another great jump. And maybe Tanner maybe just being a little cautious. He doesn't spin his tires. He sticks with them on the long run. So there's really no issue there. Just noticing Brandon is in the back of the pack. He's the last car on the lead lap in position 9. Sean Dion and Max Stender are both one lap down. But these guys are running pretty tight up front, so let's see how this plays out.
And I really also got to say that right now, with Charles Carter just having a better pace than what it seems like he did with Tanner that we saw earlier, because Tanner was all over Charles Carter, and now Charles Carter's just running away with it.
Yeah, and we had a comment from TRN Racing in YouTube. Charles is a better car today. Watch his line. He's saving on every entry and straightening it out on exit. And I would agree with that. And, something else he said is, let's talk more about these, first place, third place. Yeah, I would throw in second as well. They're all masters of the short track, and they're giving a display right now to the rest of the field on their restarts, on the gaps they're putting on the rest of the field when they, go green a little bit. And yeah, great comment there, Edwin. These guys are putting on a clinic. Yeah. Looks like we might have had an incident. Not sure if it was 23.99 or 14, but here we go with a replay. Couple of cars were slowed down quite a bit on track there.
That was all me. I didn't touch another car.
Ooh, 99 just did a backflip triple double, and I'm not even sure what car he just did that move on.
And it just looked like got really loose, like coming out of the turn right there, and yep, just overcorrected, and it's went over the 3 car somehow.
That was a triple
Clip
double. We're gonna give it a 10.
I give that 11 for your wheels.
He didn't even touch him. I think he may have knocked his antenna off. So if we lose his radio feed, we'll know why.
Christian, 10 out of 10. But don't do it again for your car's sake.
I don't know that I've ever witnessed in iRacing or real racing a complete flip over top of a car. That was could be a first.
Yeah, completely awesome move by Christian. Just able to somehow clear the 3 car. But it does look like he may have the 3 car may have a little bit of front end damage.
He just skimmed his roof and he hopped.
Do you do much skateboarding, Christian?
Nope, not even a little bit.
Well, you just pulled a skateboarder move right there. I tell you what.
I mean, to our producer Damon, clip this one and make a new video of Rockingham backflip or front double tuck over the 3 car. Well, Max has a front end on again, so he may be getting his fast repair.
He probably said, "I had enough of no front end."
Well, I think he just got the luck. He just got the lucky dog. So maybe that was it. Maybe that was his shot to, we're a little over halfway down. He seems to be clean again, but I don't know. I'm watching backflips and somersaults. I may save that fast repair.
And unfortunately, the 99 Christian Clark had to burn up his fast repair.
Yeah, I may have to save this replay. That was pretty special.
I am glad that I was able to watch that live. I may save that and clip that just for my own sake.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I wore my brown fire suit.
That's where back green here with Charles Connor back in the front. And
Yeah,
green comes out.
Yeah,
And Charles Connor already up in front, really good. As a 4 car going underneath Tanner Honeycutt.
He's maybe we're gonna have a comment here. Post race inspections. He's got booster rockets because he's just blasting off. That was crazy.
Does he have a grip mod on or something?
No, he's little booster pack.
One thing I can definitely say about
He goes down the pit lane, able to save the car. Good save on by the 4 car as he got loose coming on turn 4. But right now he's in pit lane.
Yeah, and he's I'm not sure. I guess we do get a black flag clear for that.
Well, it's really, he's already put into his pit box, I think.
Yeah, Jeff, but you would be right. Technically, that was wrecking into the pits. He had no intention of going down pit road. Just got loose, and that's where it sent him.
Yeah, so he should get a clear there. But just kind of, Christian's now in P5. Max has burned his stuff back up all the way into P6 behind him. Thomas Long, Jacob, Brandon's still back there in 9. But like I said, as long as he can see Max kind of in front of him somewhere, he's not too nervous. Sean Dion and P10 and Chuck is now back in 11th place. The second car 1 lap down. And boy, it's going to be real interesting to see, Matthew Tennant's not letting go of those top 2 to see if those guys can break out again, because they've been doing it every green flag run we've had so far.
Yeah, like I said, they've been breaking out, able to pull away from everyone, and with coming 60 laps ago this time by, I mean, I think those two cars right there are the ones to beat in this race. I mean, right now it just during that long green flag run we had earlier, it was you could see the reason why.
Yeah, absolutely. And pretty much every car that started the race is still running. Just Chuck is back on the track. Sean's still out there. So, the 11 starters, we haven't lost anybody.
Yeah,
All
right
right, and
now Matthew Tennant trying to go inside of the 13, inside, come to turn three. Turn three, can Tanner get a good run out of turn four? And he's able to do it this time, but gotta wonder, like, does he need to hold off that bottom line even more so now that the 59 of Matthew Tennant is going to try to take away from him because he did so last lap. Let's see if he can do it. We'll do it again.
yeah, good call. I was about to say the same thing when you started there, and it's probably our best battle on track right now. And ooh, just gets a little loose, or maybe that was a good block. Not sure.
I mean, right now, Tanner just seems like Tanner just wants to hold off and keep second place right now, and yet again, Charles Connor is pulling away from 13, and Matthew Tennant going a little bit high. Yeah, right now, Tanner's just trying to hold off the 59 of Matthew Tennant.
Yeah, and as these guys are kind of battling it out, Charles is just getting a little further away from him. It's also allowing Todd Perront to catch up.
Yeah. Even still, Matthew Tennant's just trying to find his way around the 13, and right now, I don't think he can because Tanner's just able to make his car, 4 lanes wide. Just able to put it everywhere. Even though his car can be on the bottom, he's somehow just able to hold up Matthew Tennant if he's running the high line.
Yeah, absolutely. And, just kind of looking just behind them there, we see the 4-car Chuck Burley currently 2 laps down. Not sure if he has enough in the tank to get one of those laps back on his own or, if he's just going to kind of hang out here and, wait and see what happens. But unfortunate incident for him just a little bit ago.
So right now, Matthew Tennant was able to get by the 13 of Tanner Honeycutt, and right now, let's see if Matthew Tennant can catch up to Charles Connor.
Yeah, I mean, 13 may have, like you said, doing a pretty good job, maybe just holding him off there for a while. But now that he's in front, let's see if he's got enough to catch Charles. And just kind of scroll through the field. Christian still in 5, Max just behind him at 6. We got Thomas Long, Jacob Williams, and Brandon sitting there comfortably in position 9. Max is only 3 spots ahead of him.
Now, one thing I will say this, if you look at it, it kind of just seems like, Brady hit it was falling off a little bit, but now it's seems he's gaining on everyone again. But I don't know, it just seems like he's pushing, pulling, and really just not making much ground at all. Right now, Matthew Tennant still gaining on the 67 of Charles Connor. With 50 laps remaining in this race, will there be another fuel stop or tire change depending on where these guys at? I would definitely say so. Probably for tires, if another caution would come out, because everybody just seems like they want tires. Right now, Matthew Tennant just seems to have the car right now, as he just about dived in underneath the 67. Charles Connor just blocking the 59. Just trying to prevent any form of run. Matthew Tennant now to the outside. Matthew Tennant inside, heading to turn 1. Matthew Tennant may be able to get out in front. And yes, he does. And one thing to keep in mind, I don't think that Charles Connor and Tanner pitted last lap at, as I've been informed, that Matthew Tennant is only on 20 lap old tires, and Charles Connor got a little bit loose, and they're on 37 lap old tires, so they're definitely going to probably get run over here as the race goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned, if we have another caution, even if we don't, I think these guys are going to stop and get tires. Matthew's showing
And
us exactly.
And Christian Carr gets around, turn by the 48.
Oh,
Caution should be out. Caution is out. As we watch on board, Christian Clark a little bit high. Straight. Oh, Christian got a little bit loose, and Max got loose and right behind him.
yeah, I did notice that. Looks like Max didn't get much damage. Not sure on the 99 car.
Looks like it's right in. We're back and headed to commercial. We'll be right back here shortly.
Recent studies have revealed that microplastics are being found in human testicles, raising concerns.
You can never
about the
trust these
potential impact
studies.
on male reproductive health.
Who's hungry?
That's it. Keep going.
Well, you're so lucky he's naturally buoyant and you don't have to watch him. Is it Bob?
No, he doesn't need sunscreen or anything. He just gets softer as he warms up.
Bob, you're leaking.
Bob can't play. If he gets hit, he'll dent.
Don't let plastic end up in landfills. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
What the hell was that?
That's the new commercial for plastic. We think if we humanize plastic, people won't think it's so bad.
Yeah, I don't know. It made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, I just felt bad for it.
Marketing approved that?
No, we fired marketing.
I feel like it's missing action.
Yeah, maybe there could be like a chase or a shootout.
Explosions.
Maybe the Matrix thing.
Maybe his plastic gets stronger as he gets older.
Maybe he gets revenge, to the people that were mean to him.
He's got a gun!
Who?
Bob from marketing!
Cover me. I'll get to the side. I can't believe this is happening. Here they
Down.
come.
Get down, get down!
It's Bob from marketing.
Get down! Watch out!
Oh, hell yeah. Now that's what I'm talking about. So that whole first half was like an origin story, right?
Green flag is out, and Matthew Tennant with a good run off again. And right now, Tanner still side by side with Charles Connor. Let's see who could get a better run coming out of turn 2.
Yeah, and I believe Matthew took tires there, so they're kind of back on the even playing field. So let's see, let's see what Charles and Tanner have in store for Matthew now that they're on equal footing.
Right now, it looks like Tanner Honeycutt's all over Matthew Tennant.
Yeah, and unlike the last time, now that I'm talking, I have my mic unmuted. I won't try not to forget that. But if that ever happens in a race, oops, someone's just spun into the pit road. Charles Connor. What happened there? Kind of looks like what happened to Todd or Chuck earlier. He just got loose right at the entrance to pit road. Yeah, here's the replay, and he shot down it like a bullet and missed all the barrels and might have just scraped the wall there lightly, but no damage. Was running in P3. Unfortunate that kind of the same thing happened to Chuck. He was in either P3 or P4 when it happened to him as well.
Yeah, so right now, Tanner's just all over Matthew Tennant.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we're back up on the front view and just watching these two guys battle it out. With him falling out of third, that has brought the 23 car Thomas Long into third place. Actually, I think he's switching places. He and Max may be switching places. Todd Perrin is definitely behind them in P5. Jacob Williams just behind them. So yeah, we're getting some good battles up front. Well, close to the front and a couple behind them. Yeah, Matthew's pulling out to a couple card length lead there. I believe, Max did make that pass on Thomas Long.
He didn't now.
And Brandon's still back there in eighth, so I don't think I can't remember what the point total was earlier. Max in the chat said it was 5 positions, but I think it's more than that. I think there was 7 or 8 points between the two of them.
Yeah, and Matt and Brandon Hinton just from coming out on pole and right now just sitting back at 8th position. You gotta wonder if he got any more damage along the way, because right now he does not seem like he has the pace like he had before.
Yeah, I'm looking at his lap. Yeah, the point total was 105 to 114, so 9 points. And I believe, is it a point per position? Can anybody add that in my headset? Okay, so it's 2 points from first to second, and then 1 per position after that. So 9-point differential. Anyone watching this for the championship trophy can see that. And as we were talking there about Brandon and Max, I was looking at Brandon's still running low 24. 1-2-1-2. Max was actually running just a few seconds ago when I was just checking lap times. He was running he was running 23.676, 24.1. So, maybe he's dropping off a little bit, but Max pretty good at burning up his stuff. So we'll see if he can hold that off.
And right now, if you look right here, Matthew Tennant's still keeping out in front of Tanner Honeycutt. And right now, I don't know if Tanner has anything for Matthew Tanner right now.
Yeah, that's a great question, and I mean, we're coming up on 30 laps to go here. So, is he trying to save a little bit just in case, or is that all he has?
I just wondered though if it's one of those things, because earlier he was pulling away from everyone. And right now, it just seems like now it's not the case anymore. I wonder if it's just burning his stuff up too much, or he's just trying to conserve for that longer run.
Yeah, hard to say. I mean, if nothing wrong with saving a little bit, he's still got him right there in his full view, so he's not getting away from him, and they got a pretty good gap on 3 and 4. So no urgency if you're trying to save a little bit. No sense in burning out to the lead, fighting for that lead position now if, we run green a long time.
Yeah, I agree. And it does seem, like as soon as I said, I don't know if he has anything for him. Sure enough, Tanner Honeycutt was closing that gap slowly and surely.
Yeah, he's kind of just, took a little lower line that time, but he's kind of just following in his tracks there for a while, but now we just try something a little different.
I just wonder if him just running that bottom line is a little bit more beneficial for him. It's like coming out of 3 and 4. Right now, it just seems like Tanner's doing what he was doing earlier, just staying low underneath underneath, just trying to make sure there ain't no dirty air going in front of that car.
Yeah, and they're both running pretty good lap times. I mean, they're sub 24. So, just looking back through the field, there aren't many guys running the same lap times as these two. Yeah, and Max is falling back to 4.6 seconds back, so he's definitely not catching him at this point.
I mean, he has, at the moment, third place locked in for himself, but honestly, I don't even know if he probably just burned up his stuff really early, just trying to catch these two, but right now we're just falling back like a rock.
Yeah, and we're going to be coming up on 20 laps to go here pretty soon. If no more cautions, these guys probably have what they have. I don't think anyone's going to stop at this point.
I don't think so either. I mean, sure enough, that Tanner Honeycutt probably doesn't want to see caution. Neither does Matthew 10. I mean, the only person probably wants to see caution is Max. I mean, to be fair, right now he's up in third, the best position he's been since the start of this race. As Tanner gets into the wall, how much would that affect the 13 right now? Because he was gaining a whole lot of ground on him.
Yeah, he's fallen back just a little bit. Nothing overly dramatic there. And, I mean, this for me personally, if that happens to me, sometimes I back off just a little bit. You're probably not going to cool your tires down a whole lot, but, you touch the wall. Sometimes for a couple of laps, I back off just a little bit. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. All depends on, like, if you got any wheel damage or, like, in this case, you maybe have, like, a little bit of front end damage, like, on that side. But me personally, if I'm, like, not really hitting the wall that hard, I'm not getting any wheel damage or anything like that, I might be able to keep it going and just make sure, like, change my line next time. Sometimes, like, get a little bit too tight and you just hit that wall.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking that when you were talking just before you said, I said, well, even if I don't slow down, I change my line, which sometimes slows me down, but he's not letting them get away from him.
I mean, it's right back under to sub 0.3 of a second and still kind of closing that gap even more still. Like, I just wonder if Matthew Tennant's probably just burning the stuff a lot up more than Tanner has. I mean, you saw earlier, even still, Tanner and Charles Connor, they were pulling away a lot early, like away from everybody else early in this race.
Yeah, Max has fallen back to 5.5 seconds behind him. So they're still maintaining a pretty good gap, but a lot of and you could probably answer this better than I can, Ben. A lot of the tracks I'm learning, I'll do a practice session, 20 laps high line, 20 laps low line, running hard, check my tires, see which runs better. Does the low line, like most tracks, does that save a little better here?
Bottom line is usually your line that you want to run to save your tires. 9 times out of 10, that is usually the rule at anywhere you go. Now, a track like Auto Club, Homestead, Vegas, that's your line that you want to, you can get a lot more momentum coming off of the exit, and but you burn off a lot more tire that way. So, in this instance, I just think that right now Tanner just has a lot more speed on the bottom than he does with Matthew Tennant. I mean, you can see right now, under 0.2 of a second. And they're on the same level tires. But earlier, you saw that Matthew Tennant was gaining a lot on Tanner Honeycutt and Charles Connor. But he wasn't really pulling away. That's the thing I think we need to look out for.
Yeah, absolutely. Good call there. And, boy, these guys cannot separate themselves from each other. I mean, they separated themselves from the field, but, boy, are they are just hanging tight with each other. And, as I'm talking here, I think Max has gained a couple of tenths on these two. But nothing really to get nervous about. Boy, he got a little loose there right on his bumper.
Yeah, he almost looked like he was trying to give him the bumper, but at the end, like with 15 laps to go right now, I don't think there's so much room for error right now, especially if you're in the 13 of Tanner Honeycutt.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know
Brandon Hinton right now in ninth. I don't know what's happened with the 5 car and may have got more damage along the way, but right now he's losing. His pace is just falling right now. Right now, 18 seconds and rising. I mean, something must have happened to that 5 car.
Yeah, so I think the math says between Max and Brandon, 6 positions at 6 points, he needs 9. So Max would probably have to win the race at this point to win the trophy. And with the way these two guys are racing up front, I just don't see that happening unless something really unfortunate happened.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, right now, Tanner Honeycutt just was basically almost 4 tenths. Right now, back under 2 tenths, like basically 15 hundredths of a second. It was still closing that gap. I mean, look at this. Every time it comes off of the turn, the gap shrinks. And right now, Matthew Tennant down to the bottom, trying to cut off Tanner Honeycutt's line, but I don't think that's going to do much for him because look at this. Tanner Honeycutt on the high side, probably get a good run here. And as he does, right now, Tanner Honeycutt back in the lead at the moment.
Yeah, and boy, that 59, he's not going to let him get away easily. 2 different lines here, high line, low line. Like you said just a minute ago, that high line is going to carry some extra speed on the straightaway. And let's see how they shake out with 10 laps to go, how they can handle these next couple of turns.
I think what's it right now? Tanner Honeycutt probably has this. He had the best pace the whole race, alongside with the 67 Charles Connor. Those 2 guys right there had the pace for the race. I mean, hands down.
Yeah, absolutely. And they are, I'll have to check their lap times here in a couple seconds. Max was trying to, he gained a second on him there for a little bit, but while these 2 were battling, but it's kind of just holding steady there at 4.3 seconds, whatever it is, 4.2 back from these 2. So, it's going to be really hard for Max to catch them with, only 7-8 laps to go. But I think our battle here is for first, and I think unless something really dramatic happens, Brandon's probably happy sitting exactly where he is.
I don't think Brandon wants to see much change, to be honest, with 9 laps to go. I mean, I don't think Max definitely does not have the pace that these 2 guys have right here. I mean, you could just see it that, like, even when Tanner was behind at 59 of Matthew Tennant, like, every time coming off the corner, he just carried so much more speed off the corner. We're coming 7 to go this time by.
Yeah, if anything, Max, he'll be lucky to keep his gap there with these few laps remaining. The exciting thing is, and I know we've talked about this in different races, man, you never know, whether it's 1 point, 3 points, that separates first from second in a championship. And, it's pretty amazing. You look back on the races you were in for these guys and, they think about what difference could I've made. Maybe I should have passed this guy to the last lap. Maybe I should have, done this different. But boy, these guys are putting on a clinic up front.
Yeah, they are. I mean, right now, like Matthew Tennant just able to hang as we're coming 5 to go. And like I said, I think this was just Tanner's race. Tanner and Charles Connors. I mean, those 2 guys just, boy, they just had so much. And it was unfortunate for Charles Connor when he got loose and went up down to pit exit, because we could have had probably a 3-car battle for as we had just as long as these 2 guys have been battling.
Absolutely. And hats off to these guys. I mean, this is definitely not an easy track. Some people like myself and Edwin who jumped on, we hate it from personal experiences. But some of these guys, like you said, Tanner, Matthew, Charles, if he didn't have that unfortunate spin down pit road, would have been up here battling with him.
Yeah, I mean, still, it's just one of those things like, never know until it happens. To just like right now with 3 to go, I just think that it's just the 13th race. As we look on the broadcast, like we have 14, a 4-car battle. I'm back here, 23-14.
Yeah, it looks like 14 just might have made the pass there. That's a tight group. That's something that, Tanner, Matthew, Brandon do not want to see these guys running this tight with just 2 to go. Boy, to 67 and sending it. Oh, he just touched the wall too.
Make contact, got a little loose.
Yeah, he was sending it in there to get the pass.
But all that, just for to say this, Tanner Honeycutt, we're coming down to turn 3 and 4. And I just think that nobody else had a pace quite like him today. And right now, coming down to the checker, Tanner Honeycutt wins here at Rockingham.
Wow, great finish for him.
Good
that's
finish.
Super awesome. Yeah. Wow, here's our finish. Tanner Honeycutt wins the race. Congratulations, Tanner. Matthew Tennant, second place, 7/10 behind. Just great racing between those two. Max Stinda, Todd Perront, Thomas Long, Jacob Williams, Sean Dion, Charles Connor, Brenda Hinton, and Chuck Bart. Early is 1 lap down, and not on the screen, Christian Clark finished the race early with 43 laps down.
Yeah, great race from a lot of these guys, and
Max Stinda, our position 3 finish. I think you gained 6 points on Brandon. How'd you feel about that race?
Good. I'm trying to figure out if I won a championship or not. Doing points.
Well, I'm not good at math. I think you needed 9, and I think you finished 6 spots ahead of him. So maybe you're better at math than I am.
Calculator, bring that out. And,
but that was a pretty good finish. We noticed, and Ben can chime in here as well. You didn't take that fast repair right away, and I know there's probably strategy involved there. You're holding on to it. Do you think it would have made a difference if you used that fast repair on lap 1? And could it, or would that really not change anything for you?
I mean, I don't really know. I just didn't want to get involved in another wreck and then have the race over. So I wanted to save that. Wasn't that bad on new tires, but when it got to worn tires, it really fell off. So just wanted to be careful just in case. I wanted that extra cushion.
now, if you think you would have taken that fast repair, do you think you would have had a better finish coming towards the end of this?
No, I mean, I got up to 5th on that final restart. I mean, wouldn't have been much higher than that. So I thought the top 2 were going to burn their stuff up on how hard they're running, but just never could run them back down. So.
Well, I got you, man. Well, congratulations on 3rd place tonight. Unfortunately, you could not win the championship out here tonight, but good finish out here for you, Max.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm here. My bad.
Well, Matthew Tanner, good second place tonight. You had a heck of a race with Tanner Honeycutt and Charles Connor for a little bit, who unfortunately got loose and had to go down pit lane. But you and Tanner were racing pretty hard out there tonight, and unfortunately you could not get the win tonight. But good race for you overall. How did you feel coming towards the end?
Pretty good. Very first corner of the race, I got wiped out with that wreck, and then had to use my fast repair. I know they said I didn't use it, but I did. I used it lap 1, corner 1, and then got into kind of a self-involved wreck the next caution, and went a lap or 2 down, and was a lap or 2 down for a while, and somehow managed to get on the lead lap. Y'all didn't notice, but I was catching the leaders basically the whole race. But that long run right there, then I ran my stuff out there and ran out of speed.
Yeah, no, man. Overall, towards the end of the race, you had a great run for these guys, and just like you were able to catch up to Tanner and Charles Connor at one point when they were on older tires, but that kind of helped you out for that last caution, and it helped you keep in the lead. So, Like how did it feel like towards the end where you couldn't really try to catch up to Tanner towards the end? Like what was going through your mind after the last 10 laps?
I shouldn't have set the fastest lap, because every time I set the fastest lap at any race, I swear I'll end up burning my stuff up. I ran like a 23.3, and I was like, yeah, he's gonna end up passing me. I should have backed off a touch.
Yeah, man, well,
Congratulations, Matthew. I mean, yeah, you may have burned your stuff up a little bit, but you still finished in second. So there was some pretty phenomenal watching going on there with you two battling it out at the end, and really happy for your second place, runner up to our first place there. But any shout outs you want to give to anybody tonight watching?
Modelo's beer. but I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, congratulations on finishing second.
Congratulations, Matthew. Tanner Honeycutt, congratulations on winning tonight. How does that feel with that long run catching up to Matthew Tennant?
Honestly, it feels bittersweet. I wish the beginning of the playoffs went like this, but for some reason, somehow fast at Rockingham. That first stint we had was 60 some laps. Only roasted them to 85, I think, which I don't know how. But I hate that Charles got caught by the invisible bump in 3 and 4 and spun it.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, I mean, you two had like a heck of a pace. I mean, you two had, in my opinion, had the best pace like of all race. Because at one point, like you said, in that first stint, you two guys had like you were pulling away from everybody, and especially in the second stint, it looked like you, Matthew Tennant, and Charles Connor were like pulling away from everyone again.
Yeah, I knew Tennant had some speed here. Definitely did not expect him to be as fast as he was. There at the end, I was just going to stick to my strategy. I was going to maybe like a lap 120 start pushing, maybe run the high line because you can carry so much momentum and get by him, and wasn't able to, so I just stayed my normal lines, and coming out of one of the corners, I had a crazy run on him and decided to finally go high for once, and it actually paid off. And after that, I was like, okay. I started pulling distance on him. I was like, all right, yeah, it's working. So.
Yeah, man, I was like noticing earlier, like when you were battling Charles Connor earlier, like you were able to keep your nose underneath him, and every time you were able to do so, coming out of 2, you were gaining a lot more speed from what it looked like.
Well, Charles being my teammate and him knowing I'm in the playoffs, once we got, I think it was like a 4-second head start or a 4-second gap, I think, on Todd Perrant. At that point, it was kind of like, okay, let's just stay almost pack-like mentality, just stay bumper to bumper and just go and run it dry. And if that caution didn't come out, we were probably going to do that. We're just going to run it till we ran out of gas. So, but Rockingham was a casualty of some wrecks here and there.
Yeah, 60 laps, 85%. Just a testament, I think, to your saving abilities, and a great race at the end of the run. A couple of times we were just thrilled watching you guys battle it out, and great finish. And I'm gonna ask the question: any shout outs, teammates, friends, family, pets? Got a shout out?
Yeah. Well, first things first, shout out DES and all the races that are put on here weekly. I think it's 6, 7 races now we do almost daily. You won't find another good racing league like that anywhere else. Shout out TRN, of course. These guys, I was winless before I joined this season, and I think I'm up to 6 or 7 now in a season, and all different series. It's pretty cool having teammates that you can work with. Of course, shout out to the lovely fiance. She's probably asleep right now, but I know she's going to have a stank look on her face when I walk in there. But other than that, I appreciate you guys for broadcasting, and yeah, we'll see you guys next season well, never mind, not for ARCA.
That's true. And yeah, I agree. teammates are great, and love this league like we all do. And I don't know. We'll check with our producer. Do we have one more special guest?
Okay.
All right. We got a request. Producer, unmute your mic. Let's go. Oh, he doesn't have a headset on. Go ahead, Ben. You take it away.
Well, congratulations, Brandon Hinton, on your championship win here in the ARCA Series. How do you feel, man?
Oh, just how I drew it up. Get wrecked in the turn one, lap one, off the pole, and then have to baby the car for 150 laps. Exactly the way I drew it up.
Well, man, yeah, like I said, you had your own start on the pole in a lap one situation, get wrecked, and man, ever since then, it's like, man, maybe Brandon Hinton will bounce back or something like that. No, it just sat back and just let the chaos unfold.
Right. Well, and usually, most times, I don't even qualify. So I thought about it, and I was like, well, no, being up front might be the best play, and it didn't work out that way. But no, it sucked that I couldn't race because I had to use the fast repair so early. And so I really couldn't get up there and mix it up because if I wreck, and that's it. So I kind of had to ride around and do just the bare minimum. I hate doing that, but that's what you got to do when you're points racing.
So if you listen to the broadcast, we talked about it a couple of times. The point differential, 9 points. I mean, there was a stretch there where I kept saying, man, if Brandon can just see Max on the same straightaway in his screen, he's not nervous. He's just going to hang out and back. I mean, was that kind of the strategy? Like, hey, I know how many points he needs. Let's just not wreck again and just kind of make sure we seal the deal.
Exactly. Yeah, I had to worry about myself first, kind of, just take care of myself so I don't get caught up in anything. And then it was also, okay, what's he doing? I know he got tore up in that accident too, and he had a bunch of damage. So it was kind of just, you're kind of just playing scoreboard. Where's he at? What's he doing? Is he up in the lead? Then I need to push. And that's kind of the dilemma I was in. If he ever got to the lead, I would have to really turn it on and push. And that's kind of what I did that last caution. I had to be close just in case he got up there and was going to take the lead. Then I would have had to really turn it on and get going, and whatever happens, happens.
Well, that's awesome. I know. I think. Oh yeah, our producer just said he's in the garage wrapping the trophy now as we speak. And I said put some express tape on it. So congratulations on the season for the ARCA season, and congratulations on your victory.
Thank you, guys. And again, without DES and you guys putting it on and you guys doing the broadcast tonight, I really appreciate it. That's awesome that you guys did that for us. What you guys do for us and the broadcast is spot on. It's awesome. The competitors, everybody, this is going to be my last week with TRN. I want to send out a shout out to those guys for having me this year and letting me be a part of their team. And just again, thank you for DES and everything that they do.
And when you watch the replay, check out the 99 doing a front double flip over the 3-car. It was pretty spectacular. Send that to your friends.
He pulled off a skateboard move. It was unreal.
I heard it on the radio, but I didn't see it, so I can't wait to see that.
Oh, bro, it's amazing.
I think I can speak. I think I might be able to speak for TRM when we say, Hinton, you're always welcome back, man.
Hey, I appreciate it, and it was a blast. Like I said, I'm doing it for the reasons that everybody knows why. It's nothing. I love having you guys as teammates, and nothing changes. Nothing changes at all. So again, congratulations on the win, buddy, and like I said, again, thank you, DES, for doing this and putting this on.
Brandon, thank you so much, man. Congratulations on the championship. Tanner, you as well. Thank you, guys. Let's close this out here. Hold on, I'm gonna push you guys down. Man, Ben, Jeff, man, amazing job. And we do not have ARCA next season, as we talked about, but this is the last week before we have a 3-week bye week. And then we're going to be into our new season. We're going to be running Wednesday night LMP3s at 8:30. Thursdays, we're going to continue our GT3 series, which is ending this week as well. And then Fridays are going to be Gen 4s at the same time as next gen. Saturday, same format with the normal legacy trucks and then the premier trucks. Sunday will be 1 hour earlier, and so instead of an 8 p.m. green flag drop, we will have a 7 p.m. green flag drop, and that will be next gen. So next gen's kind of moving from Friday. So it's going to be real interesting to see what Gen 4 does on Friday. That's going to be a little bit different. We're going to miss ARCA, and man, thank you guys. Thank you, Jeff, Ben. What did you guys think of that?
It was a blast to watch it, and a blast commentate over. And I had fun with Jeff talking about the race and talking about all the situations as they were unfolding.
Yeah, and I don't know, Ben, if this is your first broadcast. If it was, awesome job. If it wasn't, still a good job. But thanks for joining the booth with me and Damon, and love this schedule we're putting out next season. I can't wait.
Definitely. Thank you guys, and thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you Friday night for next gen.